Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel, The Xanadu Chronicles. My name is Frank and today I've got another haul video for you. Now last week's video was a haul video and apparently when I was putting stuff away I was finding things that I forgot that we had purchased during the times when we were purchasing those things. So I decided, holy cow, I have enough to do another haul video. So that's what we're doing today. Now, again, this happened during a time when our friend from Seattle was visiting us, and she is a big antiquer, estate sailor, thrift shopper, and so while she was here, or whenever she comes to visit us, that is what we do primarily. And so, yeah, I didn't realize how much stuff we got when she was here, but we got quite a bit. So, without further ado, let's get this started. First and foremost, I'm going to talk to you about a couple items that we got at a thrift store that I mentioned in the last one. That was one of those places where you had to dig for everything. Everything was in boxes for the most part, and you really had to dig. They had very few items out, mostly just furniture because, of course, it's furniture. But a lot of the knickknacks and smaller items were all in boxes that you really had to dig through to find some things. And boy, did we find some things. And again, this is one of those situations where we had enough items that we did a bundle purchase and got a significant discount. So I'm going to give you the prices of some of these things. I'll give you what I think ultimately we paid for it because again, everything was bundled together and we got a bulk price, and so it lowered the price of everything down just a few bucks. But still, a few bucks is better than nothing. So let's get this going. All right, first I'm going to show you a couple things that we got that were the best price ever, which is free. Because at this place, this guy had a whole bunch of holiday items out that he wanted to get rid of. And his deal was any Christmas item that you found was free. So Jim and I found these plug-in candles, which, you know, you see, everyone sees these. These are old, you know, they're made in Taiwan. Probably from the 80s or whatever, but we'd been looking for a while for some good reliable plug-in candles to use in our Christmas vignettes. And as I said in my last video, this past year we didn't do a lot of holiday decorating, but this year we're definitely going to go and do it. So we've been looking for this to incorporate, and now we got it, and we got it for the low price of nothing. So it serves you know, it serves your best interest to sometimes look at those tables because there was no signage that said it was free. We asked somebody and he told us it was free. So there you go. At the same place, we must have just hit there at a great time because not only were they giving Christmas items away for free, they were giving away books because they had shelves and shelves and shelves and shelves of just every kind of book you can think of. And we scored quite a number of them because they were free as well. He was looking to get rid of them. Books are pretty difficult to sell oftentimes than not. And when you have that many, I guess it just makes sense. And I think it's kind of a good way to get people to come back to your store and dig around for some more stuff because, you know, you never know what you're going to find. But this is what we found. I mentioned in a prior video, both Jim and I love Monet and the Impressionist period and his artworks, and we were able to actually visit his home in Giverny in France. We were very fortunate, and I'd seen at a prior visit to Paris his Water Lilies series, you know, in full display, up close and personal, and it was stunning. I can't even describe to you how beautiful it was. So it was a wonderful surprise for us to be able to find this book in that shop and to get it for free because something like this is listed at $75 in the cover. $75 for this book. And as I've said in other videos of mine, I love using big coffee table books as decor, you know, as platforms. You know, you have it in a book stand and you have it open to a lovely page like this. I mean, my gosh, come on. The things you could do with something like this is just amazing. And again, I like to use them as platforms. I stack them up so that you can see, you know, what they are, and if you want to read them, by all means, you can, you know, pull it out to read it. But $75 book for nothing. Come on. And like I said, we got some other books as well, but this was probably the biggest score because Come on. All right? Same place, artwork. Found this beautiful engraving, plate engraving, that's hand colored, and as you can see, you know, custom frame, beautifully framed. The frame is amazing, the matting is amazing. It is old. It says here it's Penhurst, Kent, the birthplace of Sir Philip Sidney, drawn and engraved for Dugdale's, England, and Wales delineated. So I have to do a little bit more research on this company to see maybe how old this actually is. But this was at that store. It was originally $5. I know I got it for less, so I think I got this for about, you know, when all said and done, when you spread out the discounts amongst all the items, I think we got this for about $3 or $2 when all was said and done. But I love small pieces of art, and I've mentioned this before, because you can use them in so many ways. You can use them in a regular plate stand as part of a vignette, which you know, I also have plenty of plate stands, and that's what I'm going to do with this one. It's going to be in a plate stand. It's going to be working its way into my spring, summer vignette somewhere. But I also like them because they're great to sneak in some of those voids that are created when you're doing a salon wall. And sometimes you've got small spaces that, because everything else is big, you need something to go in there. These work well, amazingly well in those situations, and I love using it for that. But I also like using them on bookshelves to prop behind, you know, statuettes or whatever, prop it on a stack of books with something else in front of it. I like them as backdrops. I like to use them in those ways as well because, again, they help to fill up some dead negative space. Sometimes even if I have, like in our library, we have shelving that Jim created on our whole back wall. And sometimes I'll prop a picture up, sometimes I'll actually hang it on the back wall of the shelf so that it can be more readily seen, easily seen. I do the same thing. We have a huge break front in our living room that is chock full of just collections of amazing things that we've had the pleasure of finding throughout the years. And again, I have them in almost every shelf, some sort of picture, and you know, you can't fit bigger, really big ones on there, so small ones like this that are good quality, oh man, I snap them up whenever I can. And when you can snap them up for a price like, you know, what, $3, $5, it's worth it. And it just brings so much to a vignette. So I love it. Again, one more quick look. Lovely, isn't it? All right, still more at that place that we found. I'm going to pull them up slowly so you can see these beautiful multi-sized brass angels that are candle holders. And you can see, I mean, this mama is big. She's a bad mamma jamma there. So something like this, you know, I can only imagine how much something like this would have cost originally. We got this, this had no price on it, so we actually kind of negotiated when we were bundling things what the price of this would be, and this came out to be 15 bucks now. That is really, really, really inexpensive for something like this. And originally we thought we were going to purchase it to sell, but now I'm like, the more I look at it, the more I'm like, no, I think they might be working their way into our permanent collection because, I mean, on their own, just the three of them, with maybe, you know, a little greenery or something for the holidays, it's too beautiful to not use. And they're candle holders to boot. So, again, these weren't out. Jim dug for these in those boxes. We got it from the same place. Dug for them. I'm shocked that they're not like completely just messed up. They are in pretty darn good condition considering how he found them. Actually, you know, I don't see any major dents or anything on them. They're beautiful. So that's why I'm thinking they're going to be part of our permanent home collection now, because the more I look at them, the more I'm like, nah, they're too good to give up. Too good to give up. Sorry, world. They're coming in and they're staying with us. So, all right. I'm going to grab, I have to reach over, but I have to grab the last item for from this store. And it is this. Now, as many of you might recognize this to be a double boiler, steamer, enameled. But why we bought it is because look at that. Look at the beautiful graphics on it. Now, I remember seeing these as a kid in the 70s being for sale, like at the Kmart or Sears or whatever. But I don't ever recall, I don't recall seeing them, you know, after the 70s or early 80s having the graphics on them. They were just, you know, plain. And this obviously is used for a crab boil or clam boil or or lobster boil. And then, you know, it says down here, it says clam broth. So, you know, I'm assuming, because I haven't really done a lot of clam boils or crab boils or lobster boils, that you could put broth in the bottom and then, you know, using a spigot, dispense it out in cups to drink along while you're eating the yummy corn and potatoes and lobster and clams. So it's in pretty darn good condition. I see a couple spots where the enamel has come off, just a couple little spots. But really, I mean, everything else is just like stunning in terms of what it looks like in its condition. And so we walked past it a couple times and we're just like, you know what, we can't pass this up. Especially since originally it's marked at $23. We got it for less than that. I think we got this, again, when all is said and done, and I kind of deducted monies from each of the items when we bundled it. We probably got this for about $20. And $3 might not be a big deal, but it's, you know what, it's $3. So any savings to me is great. And again, it's one of those one-of-a-kind things that if we ultimately do decide to sell, I'm sure we can get a pretty penny for this, but I don't know. Again, it's one of those things that it's so unique that I don't know if I want to give it up. But we'll see. I can't keep everything, right? Or can I? No, I can't keep everything. All right, let me put this back. Okay. So, the next couple of items I'm going to show you are from a local thrift store, a church-affiliated thrift store. And we go to this one every so often because it's a little bit out of our way. But the reason why we like going there is because whenever we go there, one, they do have a pretty good selection of just almost everything. But two, their prices are they really mark to sell, and that's what I love. I love going into a place. I don't mind paying a fair price, but you know, be fair about it. And sometimes I think they give these things away at a little more of a steal. But hey, it gets money into the church that it's affiliated with, I guess, as well as gets stuff out and makes room for new things. So I cannot fault them for doing that. Selling it at the right price makes things sell faster. So, as you can see, this is a large tin of some sort. And it's got amazing graphics on it. And again, it's distressed, it's old, it's been through the ringer, but it doesn't have any dents. It doesn't have any, horrible dents anywhere. Actually, it has no dents anywhere. The corners are pristine, but it's got a little, the paintwork is coming off and it's a little rusty in some spots, but who cares? We love that. It's got, like I said, beautiful scenes on all of its sides. And it's from Nuremberg, Germany. The bottom has embossed label on it that says 1994, so it's not extremely old, but it's not particularly young either. So, but this is definitely Nuremberg. It probably was some sort of Christmas tin and filled with biscuits and such. But it's still got even the paperwork inside with whatever it's saying in German. I don't speak German, so unfortunately I don't understand it. But the company on here is Schmidt, and a pretty common name. So I have to go look it up to see exactly what this may have been used for. But it looks like a Christmas tin. It looks like something that may have had, like I said, a variety of baked items, probably traditional items for that time of the year. So we got this at that thrift store for $1. Yes, $1 only. And again, like I said, they want to get rid of stuff, so that's a good way of getting rid of stuff. Mark it just right, and then a sucker like me will come in with Jim, and we'll snatch it right up. Now, at that same place, again, this is one of those places where part of the store is a little bit more, retail styled in terms of they had the stuff out to look at. But they have a huge kind of like a warehouse garage area that has a lot of their bigger furniture items and such. But they also have boxes of things that you have to dig through that they haven't gone through, right? So we love that. We love doing a good archaeological dig. And in that particular section, we found these beauties. Buried, obviously they're still kind of, we got some spider webs and a little dusty. I haven't cleaned them off yet because I put them away temporarily when we got them, and I forgot about them. But I'm trying to read what it says here in the back. It's there's a very, very faint, oh, it says solid wood. Oh, that's good to know because I wasn't sure. But it is nicely carved, as you can see, and now I know it's solid wood. So I'm even more stoked about that. They're plate holders. You see the divot at the top? So of course you hang them on the wall, right? For those of you who may not know, you hang them on the wall and you can put a plate display by putting in that divot. It's pretty stable and lean it against the wall. So, but it's a platform. You can put anything on it. Put a little potted plant on it. Put artwork on it, or hang artwork above it. Put a statuette on it. Whatever you want. But we love them because one, the most important part of it, the carved part, is pristine. I mean, other than a couple, flaking parts of paint, there are no chips, no broken pieces. It's now we know it's solid wood, even better. And even the platforms are still pretty good. There's a couple chips out of this one here, but flaking paint and stuff, we love it. We love the patina of it. We love the look of it. And $1 each. $1 each. Again, this place priced to sell. Love it, love it, love it, love it. You can't beat it. How can you turn it down? So keep your eyes out, folks. Dig, 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 because you can find some beauties like that. Okay. So in my last video, as well as in other videos, I've talked about how there are a lot of estate companies, especially bigger ones, who, when they do an estate, because they do so many, they have enough inventory, or they'll buy out the remaining inventory and have a storefront that you can visit as well. So not only can you go to the estate sale that they represent, but you can go to their storefront and buy things there that they have purchased from working these sales themselves. So they typically, of course, get a deal. They work it out with the owners, and then they'll oftentimes, they'll do a minimal markup, and you still get items that are priced really, really well. And so in my last video, I talked about the fact that Jim has been trying to build our holiday collection of Virgin Marys. And in that video, I think I showed you like 4 different ones that we found during our outings. Well, this was one that I forgot about. And so we got this at one of our favorite estate sale retail storefronts. And we got it for $6. And Jim picked it out. Of course, it's a beautiful piece. It's ceramic. I can't tell by looking at it, when it's from. But we like it because, the reason why we collect items like this, especially if it's one particular subject matter, we try to look for things that are of different materials, of different time periods, of different styles, different feelings. Like we had one in the last video that was, very kind of happy, joyful looking Mary. This one is a little bit more somber. She's a little bit more haunting. And it's, very serene and peaceful and beautiful. I like the elongated form, which, you don't want everything to be the same height. So to have things that are of different styles and different heights and such really add to the interest. So keep your eyes out, because this holiday season we are going to deck the halls, and we will have, I think I'm going to do a huge vignette of our Marys and just put them all together, because I love seeing a collection in that manner, and just to be able to see all the different styles and types and such just makes for a lovely display. So $6. Alrighty, now at a shop near us where the owner, the proprietor, has an amazing eye for items. She goes, of course, all around the state, and we're in Florida, but she goes around all around the state and buys from estate sales and thrift stores and so on and so forth to stock her store, which she opened up recently in our area. And one of the items that we found there is probably one of my favorites. I can't even express to you how beautiful this is in person. It's a heavy piece. It's a Terrine Metal, made in India. And I'll just show you some of the details here. You can see it's got a scalloped edge, a fine scalloped edge here, with embossed fruit. It's pineapple and pears and peaches and pomegranates. I mean, hammered metal. Like I said, this alone is hefty. And then when you add on top of it this part, and again, you can use this for 1,000,001 different reasons, but it's going to work its way into one of my spring summer vignettes. So again, keep your eyes peeled for that video when it comes out. But my gosh, look at that. That handle alone. I mean, that handle alone made me just, you know, snatch this up. And here's the thing. Sometimes when I'm shopping around in places, I see something and I know immediately I want it. Oftentimes to my detriment because I don't look at the price first. And I always kind of hold my breath because I'm like, oh my God, this is going to be expensive. But I snatched this one up, and when I saw the price, I was almost kind of aghast because I thought I read it wrong. I thought I needed better glasses because she had it marked for 25 bucks. I didn't even bother to negotiate because 25 bucks for something like this is worth it. You know, I don't want to insult anybody either. There are times when you can really kind of, you know, go in there and bring a price down, but when you see something like this and you know that the price is fair and right, don't even bother, just do it, because I would have been very, very upset had I left there and not purchased this. Because again, look at that. I mean, the little leaves and just the peaches on the top. It makes me swoon. Makes me swoon. And this is a piece I probably will never, ever, ever even consider getting rid of because it's just too amazing. So, with that, as I speak off camera, with that, I'm going to take a sip. And the last item I can't actually show you because, one, it's too big and heavy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to post a picture of it where it is in my home right now. And I'm going to do that for you now. Okay, folks, here it is. This lovely, large, 73-inch tall, tessellated pink marble planter, which started out as a uplight, a halogen uplight, is now in my home, nestled beautifully beside our ebonized and semi-precious stone encrusted Chinese bar cabinet, which sits between my living room and my dining room. And as I said, this piece was an uplight to begin with, obviously from the 80s. And the funny story is we had seen this piece like 2.5 years ago at one of our favorite estate sale storefronts. And at that time we'd seen it, it was listed at 350 bucks. And I'm going to tell you the story real quick because it is a testament to a couple things. One, patience, and two, knowing what an item is and the reality of how it would work in most people's homes. And the fact is, this piece probably would not work in 90% of the people's homes in the area that we live, or because it's an 80s piece, it's one of those things that people discount or don't even look at because it's so 80s. But that's why we love it, or I love it so much, is because it is a quirky piece. It's something you don't see any more of. It is a hefty piece. I mean, my God, who would have had this kind of an uplight in their home in the 80s, right? Now it's mine, and again, knowing when we first saw it that it was such a specific piece, made me feel good about that first time when we walked in and it was 350 bucks that we said no. And so fast forward about a year, we go in there again, there was a sale going on, I believe, and at that time they had it at 150 bucks, and I asked them what was the best price that they could do for it, and they said 100. And at that point my eyes were kind of tingling because I was like, oh, 100, that's really, really, really good. But again, patience prevailed and we held out because it was just one of those pieces that I didn't think was going to sell anytime soon. So we walked away. So again, fast forward about another several months, 6 months to a year, our friend Sandy comes to visit, and lo and behold, this was out. And typically, when a place like that puts their stuff outside of the store, in the front where people can see it, they're looking to get rid of it because it's just been in the store for too long. And so at that point, I was like, okay, I know they're going to give this, they're going to give us a good price. I didn't know how good of a price, but I went up to the proprietor, and I was like, okay, I've seen that pink marble uplighted lamp in your store for over a couple years now. What is the best price you will give me for it? And she said $35, and without blinking, I said mine, because I wasn't going to turn it down. And that's when, you do not wait any longer than that. That was the perfect price at the perfect time. And by the next weekend, we had it in our home. And I tried it in a couple other spots around my house, but this is where she landed, beside the bar cabinet. I love the height, and like I said, it was a halogen uplight. Jim took out all the innards for that, so that we could turn it into this planter. But he did it in a way that allowed us to still access the electricals, so that we could put a clip-on light on the back rim where it's hidden to uplight the plant if we wanted to. But we don't even turn the light on as we expected. But if we want to set a mood like we're doing a dinner, it is a beautiful thing to do. But we have that back there. But other than that, I think it's serving its purpose exactly the way I had seen it in my mind's eye, as a grand planter. And I could not be any happier. We picked up this amazing large Pothos at one of our nearby home improvement big box stores. And now it is going to be just this amazing piece to talk about when friends and family and anyone comes to visit our home, because it is a standout piece. And I hope you agree with me. It's quirky, and I love it. I couldn't be any happier. And again, for that price of $35, I would have been stupid to turn and walk away from it. So I'm going to end on that note. I hope you liked this haul and this video. I hope you learned a couple things from this as well. And as always, please, please, please give me a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, watch more of my videos. Tell your friends and family to watch my videos, so that the algorithm starts popping them in front of other people. So with that, I'm going to bid you all adieu. Have a great day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye for now. If you haven't seen our previous videos, click on the links and watch away. Please share, like, and most importantly, subscribe to our channel. We'll do our best to keep you entertained and coming back for more. Bye for now.